What about for Xi Jinping, the Chinese leader who has been exerting a lot more effort to have influence in the region, in Africa, frankly, worldwide? How important is the expansion of BRICS to China?
I think that China is the biggest winner. Keep in mind that of the countries that had been advocating for expanding the BRICS, so a couple of points. One, in 2001, when Jim O'Neill coined the term, so it began, we now have...
It was the Goldman Sachs investment thesis, basically.
It was a Goldman Sachs investment thesis. So in 2001, when Jim O'Neill coined the term, it was BRIC. It was China that advocated for South Africa's inclusion. So South Africa joins in 2010, so BRIC becomes the BRICS. So China not only advocated for the inclusion of South Africa in the original configuration, but in the run-up to this summit, China had been the most vigorous proponent of further expansion and rapid expansion. And so I think it's a significant diplomatic victory for China. And I think that China as well is trying to demonstrate that it's not, that despite growing pressure from advanced industrial democracies, I think that China is trying to say we're not going to be isolated, we can exercise influence in alternative fora. And I think that the expansion of the BRICS into a BRICS Plus grouping, I think is a significant diplomatic victory for Xi Jinping. And I think the timing is also important. The expansion of the BRICS comes at a time when Xi Jinping is dealing with some very serious economic headwinds at home. There's kind of this, you could say, kind of a coalescing consensus, whether or not you agree with it, but certainly a coalescing consensus among very distinguished economists and other observers saying, has China's 40-year economic boom come to an end? Is demographic decline really going to set in? And so given the economic headwinds that Xi Jinping is facing at home, I think given the increasing coalescence of advanced industrial democracies to contest China's influence, the expansion of the BRICS, I think, is a welcome source of relief for him to say, look, we have some challenges at home and abroad, but there are other fronts in which we're doing quite well.